Welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing today? Alright guys, let's get this show on our road. As always, good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening. No matter where you are around the world, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another big edition of the London session. Today we do have some very high-impact news to come for the pound quite shortly. In 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes, we got CPI. Forecast is for it to be as per the previous, so whether or not maybe it's been priced in already, I'm not too sure, but either way, all we can do is just wait and see what sort of impact that does have moving forward into our session. So we're obviously going to be wary of that. So we're not going to be looking to trade JJ right now. Obviously going to wait and let the news settle down and then pick up the pieces on that and see what we can come up with. Guys, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you've not already done so, please hit the like button. Really does help with the algorithm. I'm pretty sure all of you on here have already done so, and I do appreciate it. But yeah, it just helps to get the algorithm ticking over and get more people onto the stream, which is very important these days. So yeah, we're just gonna keep at it, keep strong, and those numbers will eventually grow. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna turn the music down, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to do the analysis. I'm gonna start with gold as always, even though we do have some high impact pound news to come. I'm gonna bother with GJ first. I will look at gold, and we will start on the weekly time frame. And what we can see is we are forming, current weekly candle is pulling back within its own candle, so it is forming a weak bearish candle. Still obviously, since the sell-off to begin the week, we've not yet broken our high, but we are remaining above some resistance here to the left. Have we grabbed that liquidity to perhaps move and continue to push to the upside? What we do have is the previous daily closed a strong bullish candle above support here to the left after tapping into it. Pretty strong suggestion that we could be ready to continue up towards now that next level around that 2690 sort of region. The resistance from Monday, from the current weekly candles high. We do have a high low, a higher high forming in the current day's candle. Let's mark in the high of the current daily candle, and let's also mark in the low of the daily candle. Let's just see what we got in either side of that the daily candle. Now onto the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see is structurally it does remain bearish. So obviously we flipped the structure Monday in my session. We're not yet flipped it back bullish, but we are trending to the upside. We have formed we've formed a higher low, now a higher high. So we are starting to form that structure within the trend itself back up to the highs of the weekly. So as far as resistance, we're going to mark in resistance around the high. We are bearish but trending to the upside within the structure itself, using and with the daily candle probabilities to the upside. So now onto the 30-minute, and we'll have a look at the 15 to 30. Could also argue it's still technically bearish. I mean, if you're looking at on this particular broker, which is Forex.com, actually the bias is bearish, but doesn't mean I wouldn't be looking for the buys, that's for sure. Still kind of favor the buys off the back of the way the weekly is forming. sorry, the daily, the way the daily is forming, and off the back of the way the previous daily did close. So what I'm going to be doing, guys, I'm just going to drag this zone down. I'm going to mark in another zone just here. I'm starting to identify some tradable areas. So the most recent support, so the origin of the impulse to the upside, we've just broken a resistance, broken out of a resistance just recently. We're going to mark that in. And if we were to now pop back down to it, then I'm going to be looking for some support to form for a potential buy above 2679 region. Now, depending on how that support is confirmed, maybe a 15-minute candle, but likely going to need to wait for the 30. Further buy options will be upon a deeper pullback. If we do respect this level around 2675 level that we've just come from, the origin of this impulse, then I would also entertain my buy options from there. Now, as far as the sells, at this stage, the most probable sell will come once we come back down to retest this 2675. And if we begin to close below, we've got some clean traffic to the left, and that will provide us a nice sell option to take it back down, and also flipping the micro trend at that point, trend that lower low in line with the actual structure itself. So that's what that would be based off as far as the sells. Now, further options, we will contemplate buys above the high. We're about to confirm some more resistance here in the M30. Let's go down to the 15 and see what we got. Those levels pretty much remain. I think they're fine. So yeah, so we're about to confirm a resistance here in the 15 as well. So if this is to be a pause, we do have some relatively enough room above the high, enough margin to potentially look for the continuation buy. So we'll put it in. Doesn't mean we just look for an impulse entry. Want to see how prices approaches. The preference would be for it to pop back down if we can't get into buys above that 2678, but then approaches with volume towards the current daily candles high. We'll look for continuation buys at that point there. So that is it on gold, guys. Hopefully that made sense. I think it's pretty simple, but gold has been anything but simple, to be honest. To start the year, it's been very volatile. It's been quite difficult trading it. So yeah, I think I'm going to be very careful. Just wait for a solid confirmation and not look for anything in between. So that is gold, guys. I hope it made sense. And once again, if it did, make sure to hit the like button. Quick, easy, free way to support the stream. And we can move on to have a look at GJ with about 2.5 minutes left. For me, there's not going to be any option just yet. Hesitant to sell it because we're not quite tapped into resistance. The buys make a little bit more sense to me because maybe perhaps we're just forming a bit of a pause at the moment. So I'm not going to look to sell it. I'm going to patiently wait to see our price pulls back to 2679 if we can potentially buy it above that point there. Or I'm going to look for the continuation buys above the current high. So let's take a look at GJ, guys. And as always, let's start in a weekly. And we did obviously pull back up towards our open. And we're since rejecting yet again. But again, we have tapped into a target here to the left. So a bit of a holding phase sort of where it's at. I mean, it's at a support, it's bounced into the support. It's, I think, a flip back bullish, but it's since flipped back bearish. So what we're going to do is mark in once again the current weekly candles high. And so that lines up with that previous daily high, lines up with the current daily high. So, oh, excuse me, guys. Alright, guys, apologies. Yeah, so looking at the daily again, so we do have a high, low, higher, high. If we were to begin to flip and break our own high, once again, we're bouncing off this high time frame supports, daily support to weekly support. That could be us to start to make a deeper correction into this impulse from the upside. Looking at the 4 hour, still remains bearish in structure. We have confirmed a lower high upon the pullback. We're also formed a bit of support Now, what I want to see is preferably, I'd love to see price come back down to that support and tap into that support before looking for any buys from that level. Seeing it is against the structure, and my one concern is that without doing so, there is a high probability that it's going to come back down to this support to grab some more liquidity at some point. But I want to get caught in a buy, only for it to trigger me in, maybe it being a few pips profit, and then it makes the move back down and then it bounces off. So that's probably what I'm going to be patiently waiting for in regards to buys from the current level. Ooh, there's CPI. Alrighty guys, gonna throw things off for a bit, but anyway, let's see. We've got an area to get involved in buys from here now that we've tapped in. So now we've tapped into that level. It doesn't mean I just buy stop it. Still need to wait for closures. We've obviously just 30 seconds into the news candle. Look, let it play out. If I put buys above, it's likely going to make the move just now, but I can't just take it, guys. It's just, yeah. Sorry, I'm not going to take that. But anyway, that's what I'd be looking at, depending where his counter closes. If we do close just above it, highly unlikely. But if we do, I'll be looking for the buys from that point there. And aside from that, guys, what I'm going to be looking for is any pullback. 30-minute structure is technically bearish. It's the high, it's the swing point, it's technically bearish. So really what we could do is any pullback within this range, anywhere at all, whether it be at this previous data point here to the left around at 192.40, or a little bit higher up around at 192.60, or the highs eventually if we did come back up to there, only to reject. I would be looking for my options, well, you guys get the picture, to sell it from up near these highs. So it sells below. Now if we do eventually make our way up through this resistance, then I'll be contemplating the buys above as well, because we've got some clean traffic to the left. But not only that, we'll be breaking above the daily high. Now further options to sell it, lock cleaner below is 191.40, so definitely be considering that. But at the moment we're pretty much back to where we started at the open of the news. We just got to let GJ do its thing for the time being, and once again focus on gold for the time being, guys. So hopefully it all makes sense. Once again, apologies for the little interruption just then. And who we got here today? Josh, nice work. Yep, well done. Kyle, morning to you. Aaron, good to see you on the stream, my friend, again. Yeah, always pretty good, my friend. Smarties, morning to you. Mr. Phil, morning. Sketchmas, morning. Franco. Yeah, that is new, Smarties. That is definitely CPI. So how did it come out? Came out less than the previous. All right. Not much less. So that would suggest that perhaps inflation is slightly more under control for CPI as well. So if that's the case, they may be more likely to consider cutting rates moving forward, which would probably be more of a negative as far as currency strength. But it's, yeah, I mean, this is just back to where it's open. This is the news, guys. It's really difficult trading this sort of event. Wow. Franco, you're gonna have fun trying to trade GU today. God, mate, that's nasty. Nags, good morning, mate. Good to see you. Members, I will let you guys in. If you'd like to hop on, feel free. So guys, once again, please, if you have not done so, just to show some appreciation, hit the like button. So are we just creating a bit of a pause on gold? So for me on gold, if we get that strong closure now to the upside, preferably in engulfing closure, I will be looking for a potential option to buy it. How's it been going, guys? How have you guys found this early proceedings into the new year? I've found it quite difficult, to be honest, with the volatility on gold. It's been very, very all over the shop. It's been very erratic, bouncing one way and then looking good, and then it just goes the total opposite direction. So does that mean you need to maybe adjust a few things? Maybe it means going down a little bit in lot sizes and just giving the trade a little bit more breathing room, targeting a wider target as opposed to maybe 10 pips. But definitely means you need to wait for, in my opinion, a nice strong confirmation. Yeah, I'm not sure how you guys have found it, but while I've been on the charts, gold has not really offered a great deal. Everything's just been, again, basically on impulse, or it's been consolidating and then just takes off. So nice move prior to the stream. Wasn't on the chart. I was off having my dinner, as I always do just before the stream. I think it's way back down a bit. Majors, for the most part, I've had a pretty solid week so far. Alright, so GJ definitely requires a 30-minute analyst at this point. What can I do? If I get 50 likes, I'll give away a VIP membership. How's that sound? 50 likes. Should 50 likes for other streamers. They won't even bloody turn up 50 likes, to be honest. I used to get it easy. So while we wait, guys, what's some of the New Year's resolutions for you guys? Any interesting ones? I don't think I really have one. Would love more sleep. That's definitely one of them. Oof. Probably be a little bit more consistent in the gym. Struggled a little bit towards the end of last year. Forced myself today. I had a busy day, but forced myself to go a couple hours ago before the stream. The next thing is just the beginning of the year. Most people are not yet trading frequently. The views, likes gonna skyrocket. Yeah, I hope so. Look, it will get there. I'm confident. It can be a bit frustrating though, seeing the views have gone down, and it's not like the win rate's gone down. This is people lack patience. I do look at some of the other streams just to see what's going on, and I've noticed one of the popular ones I don't think's taken a trade yet this year, and he's been on for as long as I've been on so far. Why is my screen sharing paused? Morning to you, Sharif and Blood. Sorry guys, I didn't. This my screen sharing has been paused. Anyway, it's not paused now. Yeah, so I was you know, thinking, well, glad I'm not the only one who's found it a bit difficult to find quality entries. It's always good to keep a bit of an eye on the competition. All right, so gold here is forming something quite interesting. Got resistance on the 30 confirmed. What we might have is a weak pause on the 15. Remember guys, we're technically bearish here. We are technically bearish. Therefore, seeing we're forming potentially minor support just here, if we were to continue bullish, there is not much of a need to pull back down and break the support. And if we do so, there is a high probability that price is going to retest this 26.79 region. At that point, then we've got about 15 pips, accounting for spread maybe 13. You can get a decent stop loss using the 15-minute candle. So the rule I'm about to create in the next 3 minutes and 15 seconds, what I want to see is this candle closing back a weak bullish candle. And if we create small upper wick and begin to break the low of the weak bullish candle, I would be happy to execute a trade. That is something I'm very familiar with. It's again, I trust that entry. I do have confirmation of resistance on the 30 prior to it, so it's not like we don't have a slightly higher time frame confirmation just yet. So I'm gonna potentially be lining up a gold sell here shortly. And this is very typical of my type of trading, this entry. So I'm just, what's the low of the current bullish candle? 45. 2680.45, so I'll be looking at 2680.25 roughly. You really have to allow for 2 pips these days because the spread's a little bit wider, plus the volume's just a bit more crazy at the moment. Now, how to determine whether this is going to be valid or not. Want it to close. This is an interesting one. Yeah, I want it to close below 0.382 from body, from open to the high. Now let's just pinpoint this. Let's make sure we're accurate. Alright, so if we close below that point there, I'm going to determine it to be a weak enough bullish candle close to look for an impulse entry. And once again, this is just a really good example of showing, you know, how we trading based on rules and making it a black or white scenario. So paint a picture black or white. There is no in between. It's just if it ticks the box, we could have a potential sell option. If it closes above, it means you need to wait, because that would suggest maybe we're forming another support to head back up. A little bit too strong of a closure if it does close above that horizontal, in my personal opinion. RS trying to commit to trading kind of lost motivation last year. Yeah, okay, yeah, it happens. I'm not gonna lie, it's happened to me a few times. Look, last year, wouldn't say I lost motivation, but I found it to be more of a chore, maybe at times. But at the same time, I still really enjoy the trading. Yeah, I think the thing is with a lot of difference, you know, a lot of people, so it's not going to be valid, guys, so don't worry about it. It's closing too strong. Difference between a consistent or experienced trader and someone who's sort of jumping in and out of the trading scene is we know that you can't always win. You're going to go through a little bit of a bad patch at times. and we don't get put off by it, and so we don't just, you know, take a back seat and, you know, and not bother trading for a few months or whatever, just forget about it. We'll maybe take a little bit of a break or chill for a couple of days or a week, whatever, but then we come back doing the exact same thing, because we know for the most part it should work a lot more often than it doesn't. So again, that comes with experience. But trading is difficult, guys. It is draining. I mean, it's a simple process to follow if you have a formula that you can make work, but it can be very draining being sat here on a computer for, you know, however many hours you choose to do so. That's why I limit the trading. I don't like to sit here for 6 to 8 hours of a day. I think 3 hours is plenty. So a couple hours for London and maybe an hour and a half or so for MY. Because I've mentioned it many times, the human mind focuses optimally for about 30 minutes of a day. So if you're really focused on something, so like right now, I've used up my 30 minutes. So I'm going to be running at sub-optimum capacity at the moment, according to the science. So that means you're more likely to lose focus and maybe make a bit of an error. So see now, guys, so looks like based off that previous closure we could retest the high. Now it's not enough of a catalyst for me to buy it right now. I don't have any little minor resistance or anything that would break you on the 5 minute, and after what I've seen throughout the week, I'm not going to just jump in right here, because we've not yet really tapped into anything. Well, actually we kind of have here, but either way, I'm not interested in buying it from this point. I'd rather buy it from above the high. I recently got frustrated because I was trying a new strategy. It does not match my mentality. You know, yeah, that happens too. Definitely when you're trying something out, or even, yeah, I suppose it's with anything that you're learning. It can be very frustrating, especially if you started okay and then you take a few back steps. Oh, JJ. All right, so the 15's closed strong bearish. So we just need some weight. Is it going to respect this support, or are we going to actually start to close below it? Yeah, so I suppose that also that's why it helps to be trading with others. So like whether it be on a live stream like you are now, or within a group, a master group. I've always traded within a master group. Now actually, you know, obviously I own one or run one, creator of one, I should say. But throughout my whole trading, tell I haven't slept much. Throughout my whole trading career, I've been with or involved in some sort of trading group. Bitcoin has continued to move up. It's looking pretty good. It looks like it's pretty much playing out. Flip side, Ethereum seemed to be stuck around 3 to 3.3 roughly for forever. I mean, I know it broke it out, but how long's it been here? It spends a lot of time around that 32 to 30, 35 sort of region. Nothing wrong with that. It means it's a pretty stable asset, I suppose. Shrift, morning to you, mate. Hope you're all well. Yeah, we all lose motivation, RS, just thinking about that again. Look, I never ever thought I would lose motivation when it comes to the gym and that, but I go through times where I'm just really looking for any sort of excuse not to go. I had one today and I was like, nah, I won't go, and then I can't. It's just too easy not to go. So I went there, and those are often your days where you smash out a really good session, and it was today. To be honest, it was a really good gym session because I had a crazy day running around. Was up early and not stopped. Usually Wednesday is my day to pretty much chill, but yeah, it wasn't today. But I suppose you gotta see it as you get out there, you put the work in, you get that little bit better each and every time you do so. So it's the same with trading. If you're on the charts, you're gonna get that little bit better each time. You're gonna start to see a few things, and it doesn't always mean you're gonna win every single time you trade, or doesn't always mean it's going to be a trade, but you're going to pick up on certain patterns more. Yeah, so Sharif, must have been your internet then, my friend. All right, let's concentrate on the gold, see if it's going to give us an option. The 2 people have not hit the like button. 3 people now. Do me a favor. Please hit it. Show some support for the stream. We want to grow this channel. Yeah. So all I'm asking for is a little bit of support through hitting the like button.
Hey, good morning, man.
Right, good morning to you, mate. How are you?
Hi. Hi, thank you.
Nice one.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you, mate. Not bad at all.
Sleep?
Not a great deal, no.
No.
A bit, but not a great deal. Still a bit of a struggle. Better than the last night, but the previous night, sorry. But yeah, still
Okay.
nothing great.
Not good at the end. So
No.
you need to get good sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Sleep. Being sleep deprived doesn't help with nothing. I'll be right, mate. A bit unfortunate with GU right now. It's
Yeah, I was looking for some cells on GU at
Yeah,
the beginning.
below the
before
support.
news, but
yeah,
with this news, it's very difficult right now.
yeah. Even EU is a bit of a mess as well.
Yeah.
Tough.
So it will be tough morning for me to trade.
Yeah, you might be better off around 3 MY, that sort of time. By the looks of it. But gold might give us an option too,
Maybe, yeah.
possibly.
So he was looking before also on some gold cells.
Yeah, it had this candle closed week, but obviously it didn't. So
Okay.
never set a sell. Was not valid. So now I'm
Okay, because of the engulfing candle at the end, because it's not really a strong resistance there, correct?
oh no, I wasn't. It was going to be based off the 30 closing first of all bearish and waiting for in between it, because there was nothing other than just a bearish candle. It wasn't engulfing, it wasn't tapping into much really to the left. But we did have what was looked to be at the time minor support for me. So at that point I was waiting to see how this candle closed, and if it closed, I marked in using the fib. Or 38.2 from the open to the high, I would have looked for to place a sell stop, but it never happened. Obviously it closed above, near it closed right near its high, so somewhat I think was the higher probability of it doing once it closed like so. Retest these highs. It's not even
understood.
There's not even 10 pips in that move anyway, so yeah, so there was no sell. There was never a sell placed.
Yeah, okay.
But if it rejects now again and comes back down and closes close to the low, then there might be. I have to wait and see.
So what I've seen today is that EU is not moving that much. So there's not really a big range there. So I think 70 pips, which is unusual to the days before. So I was a little surprised that there's not really moving EU, but maybe we are coming now to the normal movements.
Look, I'd hope so, because gold's been very tricky. That remains to be seen.
Sorry?
That will remain to be seen. We'll know over the next few weeks if the market's sold a bit. Got a feeling they won't though until maybe after next week.
Yeah.
Maybe in February.
You mean because of Trump's
inauguration?
What I have read is that the market is very nervous. So because they didn't know
the unknown
what he will do.
Yeah, with tariffs and everything, like he could just let loose as soon as he's back in. So it remains to be seen. It's going to be interesting times, that's for sure. But like to be on the right side of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
So it's better to have still stop losses there when you are in the market.
Correct. Just in case we get a little tweet from Mr. Trump. Next, gold looks better. It does look better. Aaron, are you? Yeah, no problem. So we've got 2 minutes left. Because I just saw gold pop up. Sorry, mate, I might get back to it. So gold has just popped straight back up. Alright, so gold, I definitely want to see it close, first of all, above the bodies. Now, second of all, to give me what I think is a high probability impulse, use a fib. I want it to close above the 50% mark. And look at that. Look what it's doing just now, guys. This is what I mean. It's been like this all freaking week. The volatility is berserk on gold at the moment. I want it to close above that point there, and I will wait for a lower wick and then potentially an impulse entry above the bearish counter high. If it doesn't, we're likely waiting again because I don't want to get caught out in this rubbish in gold where it looks like it's going to give you a big move and then it just does the complete opposite. So Aaron, I'll get back to that shortly once we see what's happening in gold. Next we get the pause in gold. So I'm like, yeah, but obviously now it's gone back up. So the high in IC market is 2683.22 of that bearish candle. So I'd be looking a couple of bits above it. Actually, it has to be a couple of bits. Current candle is... No, actually the bearish candle is on IC markets is higher up. So it just depends on your broker. Because on this particular chart, we've actually broken high. Alright, under 10 seconds, guys. Is it going to close within this blue zone? It has to close within the blue zone for it to be a potential valid entry. Alright, I want it to pop up, I want it to break, and I want it to pop back down and create a lower wick. And if it does, I will place a buy stop above the high. That's the new scenario. It has to pop up and break the previous candle's high, pop back down, and as soon as it does that, creates a slow wick. I will set a buy stop back above the high. Joe, gold self weak. Yep, but obviously hasn't done so. Nags, it is. It's just been on another level. So is it gonna break the high? Here we go, pop up. All right, so now we want to flip back. And if it doesn't, I'm not taking this. It's got no low wick. I'm from below the zone, and I'd rather not try it. I honestly don't give a crap. If it flies, it's just gold. There is absolutely nothing you can do about it. So therefore, there is to be an entry. It has to be above the current candle high. Just 37, so about 57. All right, got the low wick. So I've set a buy stop. But if this rejects much further, I just don't trust it. So I've set a buy stop at 57. That's what potentially looking at. Think it will be waiting for sells. It can fly if it wants. You think you'd be all good, Nags? I understand. Let me set an alert and I'll have a look at AU. Alright, hope you are listening. So let's look at AU, and what we can see is the weekly. So it's got a lower high, lower low, pulling back quite significantly within the previous weekly candle. And so based off that, it'll be inclined to favor the downside because we do have the lower high, lower low. Plus I feel that the majors are just really in a big bearish cycle at the moment. Looking at the daily, if we were to break the high of that previous daily candle, then you're going to start to potentially retrace towards the open of the previous weekly candle, and that would maybe suggest that we could continue for the remainder of the week. I'd also be marking the current daily candles low and see what got below those points. So it is bearish, but you got bullish candle probabilities. 4 hour at a very solid level of resistance here to the left. It's just marking that point there for the time being. And it's just gray. Structure is definitely bearish. So we've got bearish daily, bearish 4 hour. Still calling a weekly at this stage bearish. It's the daily low, so it's at about it's at pretty much at a 4 hour support. Drag that down. $30-minute appears to be bullish. Yeah, I'd probably call it bullish, but I think it's close to the resistance. I'd be looking for the sells, to be honest. I think if you are trying to buy it, you're probably, I don't it would have been hard to get involved, to be honest, in buys from lower down, but I'd look at it thinking, well, probably should have been in a buy from lower down if I was to buy it. Buying it into this 4-hour resistance, which it has rejected multiple times, wouldn't make that much sense. So I'd be waiting to see how price reacts to it. It does reject that 62 flat psychological round number. I'd be looking for my options to sell it back down from that 4-hour resistance key level. Now, further buy options, if it begins to pop above this resistance though, once again, we'll be pulling back a lot further into that previous weekly candle. So definitely considering that. We are creating some higher lows in the approach to the resistance this time, so maybe, just maybe, it might start to make the move up. So that's something I'd be looking for. Otherwise, it's tricky. I mean, if it makes its move back down, I'd be looking for buys from support as well. I wouldn't be looking for sells below it because you're running straight into another support. Not much lower down. So buys above this support. Pretty simple analysis on AU. But just where it's at, and I mean, you'll know this. So I always say to you guys, you're a ByBit member, always ask yourself, irrespective of the bias and structure, where are we on the chart? And right now we're at a 4-hour resistance, so it'd make more sense to look for price to reject for a sell, and if it bursts through it, then you got to look for your options to buy it, whether it be upon continuation above the high, or whether you prefer whether you wait for it to actually pull back to create that higher low, create the clean moves, and then buy it from a little bit lower down. That's the other option as well. So hopefully that makes sense, mate. And let's get back to have a look at gold. RS, be aware of CPI today. Well, the US dollar as well. Yeah, there is high impact news, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, it's a big week. Big week for the pound, US dollar. All good, error, mate. Not a problem. Nice. Good to hear it. Guys, if we can, let's get those likes up to parity with the viewers, so it won't take much. 8 more likes. Get to 50 likes, I'll give away a VIP membership today. Again, that should be, in the past that was every stream, no problem. Alright, so the way this candle's rejecting just now, probably wait a little bit longer, closer to the 15-minute close. And then I might consider removing it and waiting yet again. Still got the entry in. I mean, I do have a valid entry based off of on the 5 minute on a slightly different strategy, which I sparingly use. Though, I don't remember the last time I actually used it. Ben Smith. Yeah, could be popping up. Let's watch gold because it could get triggered in. Yeah, obviously we've just had the news for the pound, so be a little bit careful with all that. Okay, once the market's open, the news could filter through. For the volume, it could have another impact. Might make another pretty strong move, whether it's deemed to be a positive or a negative one by the Londoners. Those are the people in the UK, who knows? All right, so I'm still not in, guys, but this is looking better. I'm gonna move my TP higher, but I got like 20 pips in profit. I get the feeling this could be one that just pops up quickly. Which means it could be slippage. Getting close, guys. Oof, very close to being triggered in. And what you can do is you're going to restart adjusting stop loss to just below the entry candle. All right, I'm in. All right, pushing quite nicely. I want to pop up a little bit higher at about 5.5, 6 pips on the table. It popped up quick, but it's popped down just as quick. It's the story of gold. It's for the start of this year. It's what it's been like. So again, I'm still in full position. I'm a couple pips down at the moment. Yeah, JJ is still no entry until above 192, 130 for the buys. Sell still below the support, otherwise unless it rejects 192, 130 or sells from higher up on the pullback. Alright, so 15's closed right at that resistance. Would have been nice if it closed a little bit higher up. It was still technically good. I mean, you could now adjust the stop loss to just below the 15. I'm gonna adjust it a bit below it. Joe? No, I've been pretty good, to be honest, mate. I didn't get slipped on that one. I haven't been slipped on any trade so far this year. I did go through a stage where I was getting slipped a lot on IC markets, but it hasn't been for a while now. I think it was not last year, before. There was some crazy slippage happening. How much did you get slipped, mate? 2 or 3 pips constantly. That's not good. You might need to query him about it. Yeah, that is a lot for scalping. It's not good. There we go. Gold. Looks like it's going to do me 30 yet again. Not having any luck of it at all to begin the year. It's been a crappy start. And this looks to be heading the same way at the moment. So we do. Looked good and flew up pretty quickly to about 6 pip profit, and it's just rejected. It is what it is, guys.
It's a little bit strange. So GU is bumping up and gold is coming down, and also UJ is coming down. So I don't know if this is an issue with the yen.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't understand right now the market, to be honest.
All the majors going up, but gold is dropping. So yeah, who knows? To be honest, they're very difficult at the moment. Gold is just not really moving, you know, as to the thing is that these moves would be playing out 8, 9 times out of 10 last year. Not to begin with this year. They've not worked, to be honest. So not much I can do. I'm not going to just start change everything around because you start the year off poorly. Just going to stick to it, accept the losses and move on. So this is going to be another loss. I'm almost out. It'd be bloody frustrating, to be honest, guys. Joe, no, it's not. It's not been pleasant at all, to be honest. Yeah, I'm about to be very close to taking out. I saw the little red light pop up. The next thing we could look for is potential GJ buys. This does bounce off this support and break above the resistance. I'm out, guys. I've been taken out. It's hit my stop loss on IC markets, so what can you do? What can you do? Not much. Again, tick the box, so it's not a reckless trade. It just didn't work so far this year. What was, you know, 80% win rate last year, hasn't worked too much this year. Worked once yesterday. I sent a trade idea into the members group, but other than that, it's not worked so far this year. I've had a few more losses than wins, so it is what it is. You've got to just keep going, keep pushing, and we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. So that is gold. Let's keep an eye on GJ. Gonna look to buy GJ if it does close above. We are respecting this 4-hour support, bouncing off it. Nice strong closure. Could be an option to buy GJ shortly. So yeah, apologies guys if anyone took it. It is what it is. Bruno, yeah, man. Don't we know it? We've seen how often we've seen it the last week. Ben, good day to you, brother. Thank you for popping on. Carl, yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. Just when you're the one calling it, when your reputation online. Not great when you haven't started the year off with. Haven't had a win on stream. Yeah, it's the third loss so far. Actually, yesterday's a break even there, wasn't it? It was a shit trade though. Yesterday's that was crap. You know what? If this rejects and close bearish engulfing, I'd be looking to sell it normally, but I'm going to take a back seat from gold for the time being. I'm going to let it do its thing because it just has no idea what it wants to do. Yeah, plus stop loss is going to be too wide, I think, either way. Yeah, considering the target would be that resistance, it's not going to be worth it. So once again, it looked good. Had about 6 pips on the table. Maybe with gold for the start of the year, just got to get to break even. Maybe 5-6 pips in, maybe. Because it's just the way it's been these days. It's just it tends to pull back very quickly. If that initial burst doesn't give you your 10, 15, 20 pips, it may not necessarily continue in your direction. It's likely going to reverse. That's what it seems to have done all year so far. Carl, well on our wrists, and you're proven, so we take our hit and keep going. Well, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely know the risk, and I said to my guys, I'm going half risk at the moment on especially on gold. GJ, I'm fine, but gold, I'm just seeing, you know, the way I'm seeing things at the moment, it's a little bit unusual because these moves. That Friday one was last Friday. I mean, I rarely see that move lose. think we took a loss Monday as well. It pretty much, apart from yesterday's trade, which was the break even, every trade's been what I deem to be very good entries, quality entries. So for those who might be interested in selling it, I'd be waiting for this count to close close to the low of that bullish candle wick. And you probably need to use the upward and new candle as your stop loss, otherwise it's just going to be too wide of a stop loss in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not bothered with gold at the moment. I'm gonna let it do its thing. Alright, 2 minutes until London Open. Let's see what happens with GJ. It's rejecting, remaining below the resistance. There's nothing. Looks like nothing for session open at the moment, guys. Gold GU continuing up, as is EU. Yeah, EU's at resistance. AU's popping up a little bit higher. It's okay. BJ's got some, well, it's got a good nice entry point for a potential buyer of this resistance form within the current day's candle. So we got session open, guys. Gold is absolute rank again, as per the usual. Why should it be any different during London session? Begin the year, just being very stubborn. Frank, Gbpjpy's been good since London Open. think you mean EU Open? You talking about EU Open an hour ago, or? Because London Open's now, mate. Actual official session open. BJ looks like it's moved quite well all day, to be honest, since later into the Asian session. All good, mate, all good. Yeah, EJ is looking quite nice. I mean, GJ's had the effect of the pound news. AJ as well, nice move. There could have been some options earlier on. What's the JPY index again? What's the ticker for it? What's it called? Yen basket? What? I have no idea what it's called. That will obviously probably show us something. Who knows what it's called? I really cannot remember. You know, it's a trust gold again. It needs to close back above. Same scenario, basically. G'day, mate. How are you?
Fine. How about you?
Not bad, mate. Being fleeced by gold yet again, but all part of it. Thanks, why?
Yeah, it's just been nothing is really looking promising at the moment. EU was looking like could produce something, but it's in a very precarious. This one needs to break above.
Yeah, it's at a resistance. It's a very difficult area for sure.
Yeah, we need to close above 1.032 like that.
Yeah, somewhere.
1.032.
Yeah, somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and where it is, it's very difficult to take a trade in that area because it can reject from anywhere.
Yep, correct.
Have a lot of zones there. So
yeah, for sure. Could be alright for some sells if it does reject.
yeah, if it does reject and break below the current lows, you know, we could look for some sales there. But again, that is a bit if.
Yeah.
Looking earlier for some sellers on the DJ, but the candle that I was looking at, it went without any upper wick on the alley. It will be very clear there.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, look pretty good.
Yeah. So, and this one down, I actually could have taken that one, but the range was very less. Actually, I was looking at it from the above, from the candle before the bullish one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That candle. Yeah.
The 9 point. Yep. That would have been a good option as well.
Because if you look to the left, it looks below a lot of rejections from here, from this minor rejection, this minor place here. You see close just below, just at the lows there. So I was looking if it had like a reasonable upper wick, then it breaks that strong close low, I would take it. But
yeah, fair enough. Not point.
Yeah, but it just moved without any upper wick and anything. So
yeah, at least you're following the plan. That's it. That's the main thing.
So this one, if I think I'm not sure that would happen, but if this was to close a bullish engulfing above that zone where you draw there, it would be a nice move.
Yeah,
getting
it's a
gold.
good spot to get involved for a buy for sure. Even maybe for a sell if it rejects.
Yeah.
As long as you got the margin, then yeah, I think it would be a decent option as well. It's moving quite clean though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, the moves. That's one thing. This at this area, the moves are going quite clean. You don't have those choppy movements.
Yeah, on your pairs.
Yeah. On my page, you don't have those choppy movements as much. So
Yeah, fair enough, mate. It's good. It makes it a little bit clearer. Alright, so just quickly looking at gold again, guys. So, right, simple rule moving forward. No impulse. No impulse whatsoever. Not without needed closure above levels or below. Until the markets prove to me otherwise, I'm not looking to take any more impulse entries. Look at it now.
if I may ask, then what qualifies you to take an impulse entry? Like, what do you look for when you're taking an impulse entry?
Just depends. First of all, it has to close in the right area with the right kind of volume, and then it also comes down to price action on the entry counter. So that's what this one came down to, because this one popped above the resistance without a lower wick, popped down significantly back into the range below, and it broke its own high again, quickly moved up to about 6 pip profit, and then just rejected again like it did. Like it's done all week, and now look at gold goes. Just to rub things in, doesn't it? Just what it does. So as soon as I say no impulse, flies. But again, that no way would that have been a valid entry for me.
Similar thing happened to me yesterday. A trade that I took on GU. I actually was looking at it. If you put it on an alley, I can show you exactly where I took it. On the alley, you can see after the top wick rejection, just there. Yeah, and then the bearish close.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I took it as that bullish candle break that low, and then I had there. So, but I had my stop loss just above that bullish candle, and then
alright, a little bit too tight.
Yeah. Then it stopped me out, then made that move. However, as I said in the group, it was absolutely my fault, because I should have waited for that bullish candle to close.
Yeah.
For the confirmation. I took it when it just wicked up and break the low. But I was expecting that. I was expecting to have a bullish candle there, because GU does that a lot. So, but
okay, so
I can't. Yeah, because if you look at it on the 2 hour, the trade I wanted to actually take was on the 2 hour, but I missed the entry. So I was trying to compensate on this one. With that same candle, you see it break the high of that bullish close, then it came down to break it on low. So that was the entry I wanted to take once it break the low of that bullish candle.
Yeah, I see it. Liquidity candle.
Yeah.
Rejection of the zone as well, so
yeah, so I missed it, and if you look at the structure, it's purely bearish. So that was my entry that I was looking at. I missed it. So when I saw that opportunity there, it closed strongly, and the other candle it wicked up a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
you thought you'll.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
So it's looking nice. It closed very strong. This one already created a top wick. I didn't wait for that pause. So when I got in, now it created a pause, and in the process it took me out.
But again, it's just a lesson learned. So still, obviously it's early in here, so sometimes we get to check a few things, tick a few boxes. Yeah, but again, at least you're wary of what you did wrong, so you can easily fix it. For me, it's definitely no impulse entries. has to all I need the confirmations prior to it. I need to wait for closures.
Well, some of those entries that I take on the imports, I actually look for well-based ones, like they are fully in structure. They mostly on the liquidity candles, like when it grabs that liquidity from the zone of above the previous candle.
Yeah, that's when I like them.
Yeah.
That's what I say to you guys to take.
The only kind of imports that I take. Otherwise, no import.
Yeah, they're the really good ones, liquidity. So that's on the 2 hour. Because it's broken a high, it's at a level of resistance. So if it's pulled back up, broken a high, and tapped into the resistance zone to reject, then that suggests it's grabbing liquidity just to make the move back down. So yeah, I like those ones as well. Have not appeared really on gold yet this year. GJ, probably haven't been paying as much of attention to it, but I don't think it's been much in regards to that. I mean, you had it there, but that's news, and obviously can't count that, in my opinion, around the news, because it could do anything. All right, not a great deal of margin. There is no margin. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be another move on gold, to be honest. Where it's at, you're into heavy resistance on. It's quite evident on 15 as well. All this level, so you basically resistance to me starts just there. So basically where this candle's rejected. So you've tapped into a target. So that means for me it's hard to trade above the current level unless it does this, then pulls back. Then to me it becomes a tradable area again. But for the time being, with all that to the left, above the high, is not for me anymore. Here it was okay where I got in, where we got whoever took it, because we had the margin up to this point. It's since made the move up, so now again there is no margin. So for me, nothing I can do with gold for the rest of this session. I can see it right now. So see where GJ closes on the M30. Sepper, have you start the position? Not in nothing just now, no. Gold's as salty as Melbourne's weather at the moment. Thunderstorms. Still being 30 degrees today though. Still warm now, it's just muggy. Sun comes out, then it pours rain. We have lightning and thunder and Guys, if you've not already done so as well, make sure to be following me on IG and TikTok and all that. Again, there's going to be a lot more content drop. There's another video drop today, I believe. So just keep an eye on that. Again, if you can, show some support, have a watch, and just leave a comment. Hit the like button. Be much appreciated. It's a YouTube short as well. Yeah, so just keep an eye out for that stuff. And so with the inflation falling below expected, obviously, as I mentioned as well, boosts the potential for rate cuts moving forward. So now people might speculate that that could be what's happening, and therefore could be a negative for the pound. Definitely a guy to listen to when he speaks. This guy Jim Rogers, listen to a lot of his podcasts and that on YouTube when he's been interviewed by certain podcasters on YouTube. Makes a lot of sense, this guy. So likely for a February rate cut now. I think they've said the same thing here in Oz, but I don't know how they can do it. Inflation is still not under control at all. With the monkeys running our economy, it's never going to be under control. The way they just give money out to just besides me, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, don't want to get banned on the channel. Are you rejecting? Yeah, it doesn't make it easy to get involved though, because if you're waiting for a confirmation, things are just tapping into areas and moving at the moment. I mean, if you're gonna base it off something, you probably wait for a 15-minute close engulfing, closing a 30 back bearish. I don't know, there's the margin to look for a sell though. Nice, so 6 pips. BJ continuing down. BJ's not moving for the past few minutes. It's just stuck at the spot. Alright, so just updated the stream record, guys. 78% at the moment.
Difficult to find some entries right now.
Yep.
So
Very.
looking for GU right now, which is coming down. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, it is very difficult. Yeah, GJ, I want to come down a bit more if there's anything. But even that is not a great deal of volume. This news and hasn't done much at all. Wow. Looks like GJ is not gonna close below. It's gonna be nothing. To be honest, guys, it's right now. It's GJ. It's a matter of waiting, in my opinion, for a 30-minute closure above the resistance or below support. Anything in between right now, can't even speak, is a write-off. I don't see anything. It's just consolidating. There is nothing, no clear entries. There's no margin as well. Plus, it's in consolidation, so there is nothing. Yeah, it's GJ. Gold, like I mentioned, for me, the buys are very difficult now because it's at some strong resistance, so it needs a clean move up, clean pullback, and then we open up to the upside again. Otherwise, comes back down at this rate. I wouldn't trust the sells as well below the current consolidation. I think it needs to maybe do some of this bit of structure where it creates a lower low, maybe then pulls back to create lower high, then potentially sell it. So let's zoom in a bit. Or otherwise, just wait for it to come back down lower and look for the buys or the sells below. 26.75 is going to be a key level, so make sure you are on the charts to be waiting for right confirmation to buy it, and if it closes below it, I think there's going to be some good options to sell it as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to take a break. I'll see the members later on for pre-NY. Appreciate you for joining. If you could hit like button way up, be much appreciated if you've not already done so. And I will see you guys tomorrow. CPI to come for the US dollar, so be careful today. Yeah, take care, guys. Trade safe, and catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Bye, team.